Hi, welcome back. This is my 6th week on chakras, and today I'm going to talk about a very exciting chakra. This is your third eye chakra that sits right about here, and it allows you to visualize new things coming into your life, and it allows you to imagine possibilities that maybe you've never physically experienced that are outside your realm of history and outside of your country's boundaries, and allows you to have a completely different life, potentially. It could be your dream life. And whatever that looks like, there's no wrong way to picture that. There's always something good that comes out of visualizing your future and pursuing it. And I'll tell you a little story about that later, but I'll talk a little bit more in depth about the third eye first. So the way our sixth chakra works is it gives us visions or feelings for opportunities that are coming up in the future. But the way that it works is that it's so quick. You can get a very subtle feeling like a butterfly coming through, or the sound of a bird chirping, or it could be as subtle as noticing a small speck of dust on the floor. That is the way our subtle intuition comes in. It can be like a thought that interrupts your other thought. It almost seems like a random thought. But again, that can be your intuition coming in. And these subtle signs and symbols are usually coming from your sixth chakra. That's the way your consciousness communicates to the universe to get clues as to where your next direction in life is going to take you. And a very clear way to connect with that, if you want to do that on a regular basis and practice, is to sit down for 5 minutes a day, close your eyes, and visualize what your dream life is going to be, like a movie. And you might think to yourself, oh, dreaming of the perfect life seems so overwhelming. Like, where would I begin? What would be perfect? Well, just imagine that money, time, distance, any of these things are not an issue. What would your life look like? What kind of environment would you live in? What type of house would you reside in? What kinds of car or cars would you own? What kinds of people are you hanging out with? And who are your friends and family? If you take that time to sit down and visualize that and create that for yourself, then you're going to be very connected to your sixth chakra, and you're going to be more in tune to the opportunities around you. Now, I'll tell you a story based around my sixth chakra. So one time I decided to visualize what I was going to do next in my life with my sixth chakra. I was kind of at a turning point. I was just about to move provinces, and I wasn't sure if I was going to leave the country at that point. And I was visualizing what my next step should be. And all I kept seeing was I was surfing in a very sunny place and standing up on my surfboard. Well, to give you an idea, you might think that sounds like a very normal visualization, but for me, I grew up in Canada. I've lived in places that are as cold as -50 in the winter, so we don't get that much summer. And so there are very few places where you can actually surf in my country. There are some on the East Coast and the West Coast, but compared to how large the country is and how expensive it is to fly across it, it's just like those opportunities are very rare and far away sometimes, you know? And even when you're close by, it can be very expensive to take lessons. And so I thought, what am I going to do with that visualization? And then what was interesting was that somehow I bumped into some points. There were some points on one of my airline cards where it helped me realize that I was going to be able to fly to Los Angeles for free. Then I was Googling Los Angeles Airbnbs for fun just to see if something interesting was there, and I bumped into an Airbnb that was very affordable. And then I found Groupons online for very affordable surf lessons in LA that were very reduced in price. In fact, I don't think this is a situation that you can ever come across again that easily in life. I think it's very expensive to do those sorts of things in LA now. But at the time, interestingly enough, in Canada, the price was incredibly high and I couldn't do it. But unexpectedly, I found this opportunity in LA to go surf. And the interesting thing too about my visualization was I saw myself standing up. And when I first started taking lessons from the instructor, and I only had a week and a couple of lessons paid for, he said, don't expect too much to happen because it takes time to learn how to surf. But by the third or fourth lesson, I was standing up, just like my visualization. And it was amazing, and it gave me a lot of confidence to realize, hey, I had this hidden skill inside of me that I didn't even know I had. The environment and the country I grew up in didn't allow me to express this side of myself, but going to a different country allowed me to find a new talent and a new facet of who I am. And that gave me a lot of confidence to move on to the next chapter of my life, which ended up being in New Zealand and having an amazing life over there, because I had the confidence and the knowing that I would handle new situations with grace, and that hidden talents would come out of me and serve me in those situations that I didn't even know that I had. So these are wonderful visualizations and experiences that you should keep your mind open to, that this is a tool that not many people think about. A lot of people have their visualizations kind of influenced by the news or advertising. They're influenced to drink Coca-Cola, or they're watching the news and looking at how bad the political figures are on the news or whatever it is. And they're letting our imaginations get hijacked by the news media. And it's the same if you're scrolling a lot on your phone, searching Instagram. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but be aware that whatever you're looking at could potentially be hijacking your imagination that you need for yourself in order to build your own dream life. And you're giving it away to somebody else who's potentially advertising to you. And so to some extent, there's nothing wrong with those activities. We just want to make sure that we're not giving too much of our time and our free will away to other parties that we should be using on ourselves to build our own dream life, if that makes sense. And so the sixth sense is also considered the silver screen, your sixth chakra, your third eye. It's often helpful to visualize it as a dark screen. It's almost this very dark, deep, dark, inky indigo, like a night sky. But keeping it almost black allows you to project anything you want on that screen in your imagination. And if you practice visualizing a few minutes a day, what you really, really want, you'll soon get a clear vision as to where you want to live, what kind of house you want, what car you want to drive, and then any little decision that takes you to the direction of your dream life will greatly enhance your life, no matter how small it is. And even if all you can do is put aside 5 cents at the end of your day towards your dream, that 5 cents that you're saving towards doing it one day could compound and allow you to live your dream life. I hope that all makes sense. This chakra is a really exciting chakra because this is the one where you explore all your dreams and you start looking into how to make them happen. But this next chakra I'm going to talk about is a very cool one as well. It's on the top of your head, and it's your connection with the universe or with God, if you believe in God, and those are very lovely feelings and wonderful things that we want to have in our life, regardless of whatever faith you grew up with. So I'm very excited to share that information with you next week. If you like this video, please press like, and don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to see more content on the chakras. Next week will be the week that I am finishing up on this series, and then we'll have a new conversation to talk about going forward. So I'm looking forward to all of that, and I can't wait to see you next week. Take care. Bye now.